Hi everyone, good to see you. Glad you could join us. So I looked into Mulan, and like last week with Bill and Ted, the price to watch is very expensive, and the wait to see it for free is only until December. So instead of ponying up the $30 to see it 3 months earlier, I've decided to plumb the vaults of available cable television for another nearly new title. And I found a political drama that has themes of segregation, marginalization, social media manipulation, and generational rebellion. That's right. So, tonight we're on the couch with the 2019 animated The Addams Family.
If you know the name of the movie you'd like to see, press 1 now. For a list of movies in your area, press 2 now. To get reviews from Friday on the Couch, press 3 now.
In a world with unlimited choices, but limited time, three friends have come thumbs in hand to show the way. Have a seat, kick off your shoes, and join them for Friday on the Couch.
Parental guidance suggested some assembly required. Do not try this film. So, I think we've found a much better appearance for our content for the night. I think since we've reached the beginning of September, which is the unofficial start of fall, I think, that we have the appropriate dress. And definitely for this movie specifically. So welcome to Friday on the Couch with the Addams Family. And before we begin, let's put this notice out there right now. Now, you may think this is a kids movie, and on the surface, it's very much a kids and tweens or tweens movie.
It was full of fun and looked very cool.
For once, I agree with the bear. I love the house and the decor. It was very graveyard chic. I relate to that style.
Pugsley kept trying to blow things up, and Wednesday kept trying to impale people.
Well, that was before her makeover.
Yeah, true.
So, what you have is a story of alienation of people just looking for a place to fit in, or at the very least, not to be cast out of. They think, after their long fight, that they finally achieved some peace and are living their best life when the realities of the world come crashing down on them to try to force them into the chains of subjugation they had originally fought so hard to get their way out of.
Sounds familiar. Anyway, the story begins with a flashback, and I think this is the first time we're seeing the years of the Addams family before their children were born. We see the wedding of Gomez Addams and We see the wedding of Gomez Addams and Morticia Frump.
And deliver these two into the charming void of matrimony.
It's interrupted and attacked by a mob of angry villagers with pitchforks and torches. The Addams family, they flee, seeking a safe place for their family to live. They make their way to New Jersey and an abandoned asylum where they meet Lurch. Together with Thing, the Addamses and Lurch convert the asylum into a home. Fast forward 13 years, and two children have been added to the family and a pet lion named Kitty.
Hey! No!
We're introduced to Parker and her mother, Margot, an interior designer and host of a television home makeover show, kind of HGTV style. She has created a suburban utopia, a town that's a suburban utopia, and it's called Assimilation.
Today we're putting the finishing touches on our biggest project yet, assimilation. We didn't just make over a house, We made over a whole town! And it just...
Assimilation was created unknowingly in the shadow of the Addams' house. When the marsh is drained, the hilltop fog is lifted, and the town can now see the secluded Addamses, and the Addamses can now see the town. Wednesday is particularly interested in exploring this outside world, despite her mother's fears and warnings that the outside holds nothing good for their type of people.
I heard a strange noise in the fog earlier, and I should like to investigate.
There's nothing out there but boring marshland.
There must be something. We never go anywhere. Who knows the untold horrors we're missing out on?
Darling, we have all the horror we need right here.
Wednesday, as the rebellious tween, obviously wants anything her mother opposes, and convinces her mother to allow her to attend public school, having been cage-schooled her whole life. Wednesday and Parker, the daughter of the interior designer, they become friends and find their personal truths through one another. Parker becoming an edgy, emo kid, and Wednesday trying to get a rise out of her mother by being a perky, pink-clad, girly girl.
What's so great about being yourself when you can be like everyone else?
Do not speak to your mother that way. How dare you?
Margot thinks the Addamses and their house are ruining the perfect design aesthetic she's created in Assimilation, and tries to get them to change it.
Mr. and Mrs. Addams, there's really not much to do to make this place perfect. All we have to do is pull down the side walls and then also break down the other two walls. Open up the ceiling by breaking it irreversibly. Just get this nasty little floor out of the way, and there you go. With just those little touches. Stop right there.
But when they won't, she turns the whole town against the Addamses with lies. She spreads the disinformation using multiple fake accounts on a Facebook-like social media app.
Let's see, who shall I be today? How about, Shelley Longbottom on Sugar Ridge Lane. From Shelley Longbottom to everyone.
This amplification makes her lies more believable, and the more she spreads it, the more hateful the town becomes.
They're gonna turn us all into zombies.
Where are they from anyways?
It doesn't matter. It's obvious they don't belong here.
Until ultimately, they're marching on the Addams' house with cell phone torches.
Interesting parallel there of the cell phone as both the cause of the distrust and ultimately the symbol of it.
True. Ultimately, Wednesday and Parker swoop in to save the day and show that even though people are different, they can still be friends and live side by side. The town realizes that the Addamses are just a family who love and cherish each other and support each other.
What have we done?
They're just a family.
Maybe a bit different from them, but to somebody else's point of view, we're all different than each other. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Miss Gravely, you put your underwear in the freezer.
Hey, it's refreshing, okay?
Trudy Pickering, you sit on the toilet backwards.
Well, where else am I supposed to put my arms?
You didn't talk about Wednesday giving the bully her comeuppance. That was good. This nasty girl was always picking on Parker.
Hey, Parker. Hey, got something for you.
A moldy sandwich. You're slipping, Bethany.
You know what? You're right. Let's kick it up a notch.
And when Wednesday got to the school, the mean girl tried to pick on her too, but Wednesday wasn't having it. She put that girl right into her place.
I don't think you understand. I'm not locked up in here with you, Bethany. You're locked up in here with me. changed her look. It suits her.
Awesome. Totally.
Yes, that was good. And there was also another plot thread about Pugsley having his mazurka, an Addams' rite of passage to mark true acceptance into the family by proving you can defend them in battle. So he must learn and perform in front of the whole extended family a complex sword dance that'll signify his skill with the sword and place among them. He's not coordinated enough to do it and wishes to use his other skills and other talents to prove his worth, but Gomez isn't willing to defy tradition and continues to try to force the round peg into the square hole. When the townsfolk attack, the interruption to the mazurka ceremony happens, and Pugsley is able to show his real talent and prove that sometimes a tradition for tradition's sake isn't always the best.
You mean like supporting something just because it's always been that way isn't automatically right?
So, yeah. I'll admit, when I first saw this, the only plot that stood out to me was the rebellious tween plot with Wednesday trying to get a rise out of her mom.
Oh, how'd that beret you bought yesterday go over at home?
Actually, my mother's reaction was, well, unexpected. She was accepting. It depressed me. One never wants to see one's mother that way.
And I wasn't really on board with that plot. I mean, I get it. It's a thing that really happens. But I'm a fan of Wednesday as she is. And the idea of her dropping her gothiness to be like everyone else is kind of an anathema. No, sir, I don't like it. But the movie has more to say than just that overt plot, and upon seeing the film again, I picked up on the messages of acceptance, empathy, and tolerance that are woven in, along with the warnings about cyber manipulation, rigid traditionalism, conformity, and bullying. And the Wednesday thing all works out because ultimately Wednesday realizes she is who she is, a dark, melancholy, twisted, homicidal maniac who loves her family. But she needed to go on the journey to reinforce that to herself because otherwise all she is an extension of her mom, not her own person. Parker has the opposite discovery and finds she's nothing like the person her mother's tried to make her out to be, and she has a massive transformation.
Pugsley is freed of his father's traditionalism as well as allowed to be his own kind of Addams.
And Margot gets what she deserves, a horrible punishment fit only for the worst of the worst offender.
Yeah. Her intolerance is met with acceptance. She's saved from bankruptcy by the Addamses, and she's swept off her feet by Uncle Fester. Okay, maybe that last one kind of is a punishment.
He's like training a puppy. Adorable but tiresome.
She's the woman of my dreams.
In the end, they find a way to have a blended society, with the extended Addams family finally finding a place that they aren't persecuted and moving into assimilation. The name assimilation finally living up to its truest definition, which is not conformity as most people think, but acceptance and integration of different ideas and concepts into a whole. That's what the real definition of assimilation is, the number one definition. Conformity is the third definition, so it's there, it's just not the one you should be thinking of in this terminology. I liked this movie for the most part. Lurch had some funny moments, which is always true of Lurch, as did Thing.
Sing.
Cousin It, voiced by Snoop Dogg, is extra funny, and even through the vocal manipulation, you can hear his trademark cadence, you know?
Please come in. Make yourself at home.
I'd like to give this 2 thumbs, but I just don't think I got entertained enough. I think the Mazurka storyline was extraneous, and they could have fleshed out the other 2 major plot issues more and more, with more of the same type of interaction scenes of the Addams mingling with the norms.
You know, I'm looking for something a bit stronger.
Let me try that.
or vice versa. Or some scenes of Wednesday in school, or experiencing what institutes normal girl's life in a town for the first time.
Do you want to go to the mall?
Why not? I haven't seen a good mauling in ages.
The Mazurka stuff gave us time with Gomez and Pugsley, who would have had less to do in the whole movie without that subplot, but I still felt it was kind of shoehorned in. Regardless of the important message it was trying to impart about traditionalism. So, I can only give this one thumb. Guys?
Well, you are wrong. This clearly deserves 2 thumbs. It has a social commentary hidden behind a fun shell. So, you are entertained, and you may not know it, but you are learning something. There is a pet lion that eats leftovers, dishes and all. A pet tree, a pet octopus, a pet Venus flytrap, not to mention a haunted house that is very grumpy before it has its morning coffee.
I can't believe I'm on the same page as the bear, but I think it should get 2 thumbs as well. Just for the sheer creepy, kooky, altogether ookiness of it.
Okay. So that's 5 thumbs for the Addams Family. Meaning you should see this. It's on cable right now and is available with a free trial of Epix on Amazon Prime. I'm sure it'll come to another service eventually. It is an MGM release. Distributed by United Artists. So it has a slight affiliation with Hulu, but that shouldn't stop it from making its way to other cable channels sooner rather than later. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right, everyone. Have a happy today, tonight, and tomorrow. Bye.